In today's video, we're going to be looking at ticker symbol GOOGL, also known as Alphabet, and news with regard to its significant catalyst, including a new Google AI search which could significantly disrupt the market. And then for MMTLP, we're going to be looking at Ralph Norman, who has made a comeback, made some statements with Charles Payne, and he stated we will get answers. So that's extremely significant. And he's also talking about the new government in terms of the Trump government. So before we look at further details of that, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, we can see from Market Watch here, stock market today, the Dow Jones drops more than 700 points. The Nasdaq is again back in the red after lackluster treasury action. Bitcoin did reach an all-time high and is just retreating. So overall, not good news in the markets. But what we can also see here in terms of the yield from Peter Tuchman, who's the most photographed person on Wall Street, he states the 20-year yield just spiked to 5.1%, bringing the market down fast. So this is the key reason why demand was weak, and this pushed up the yield to 5.1%. So obviously it's signaling higher borrowing costs and renewed concerns with regard to government debt and inflation. And if we have a look at positive news here, we can see Charles Payne also stated that hedge funds are going to get crushed from the small caps. So good news potentially here from small caps, and the quotation is, they look intriguing, but here's the thing, it's the so-called smart money hedge funds that are short like crazy. They are going to get crushed. So I think there is more pressure on the shorts and the hedge funds, so let's see how that plays out. Finally, I'd like to share with you some stocks which I think are significantly undervalued in the market right now. These are 14 stocks I've identified. First one, ticker symbol ADBE, Adobe, 18.86%, NVO 8.8%. I think one of the biggest ones are PDD, 180%, SQ undervalued by approximately 142%, TSM 83%, AMD 2.4%, CCEP 114.1%, COR 4.8%, FL 4.6%, LRCX 18.2%, MPWR 36.4%, MRK 37.9%, NEM, one of the gold stocks, 4%, and OKE 201.9%. So keep an eye on some of these in your watch list. Before we get started, I'd like to take 1 minute of your time to share details of the Trading Secrets Discord. This includes daily stock alerts shared in the pre-market, the weekly watches shared prior to trading on the Monday, the $1 Million Challenge, and much more. So we also have had some tremendous calls in the weekly watch list, as well as the daily stock alerts, and these include LEAS up over 152% on the week, DOMH up over 210% on the week, IGTI up over 77% on the week, and many more. We have a new channel called Top Ranked Stocks DD, and this includes PDF reports which you can download and use for research and due diligence. Obviously you can join us in live trading chat as well. We've just had a $2,000 Discord update which includes breaking news for stocks, including bio stocks, earnings, analyst ratings, Reddit news, why the stock is moving, and much more. And as well as that, you can join us in the famous $1 Million Challenge, where we look at compound return investing and 201 trades. And just a reminder of the power of compounding. If you have 1 cent, you double that for 30 days, you would have over $5 million, but we are using a strategy of just a 3.5% return. Let's start by having a look at ticker symbol GOOGL, also known as Alphabet. So if we start by having a look at the company profile, we can see here the company offers various products across the United States, Europe, Middle East, Africa, and basically the whole world. And the services include Google services, Google Cloud, other beta products. We have Google Photos, Google Play, Google Maps, YouTube, etc. And we can see the key headline on the left, Google AI mode self-disruption to search. This is potentially huge news, and we know that the company was late entering the AI space compared to the Magnificent Seven peers, but I think the potential for Google is huge. And in the Discord from the quant data alert section, we've got news breaking here that Alphabet stock is rallying on Wednesday. And what's going on, if we look at what happened in the market today, it was a huge red day in the market, but Google was significantly green. So it's leading the Nasdaq 100 higher, and the company unveiled a major overhaul of the Google search engine. So we're going to have a look at details of this shortly, but basically this is a significant upgrade and huge potential. So in the tech stock channel, I also shared detail of this news, and this and stated that they have launched an AI mode, a chatbot based search feature, and unveiled a new AI model. So this is looking at modernizing its $200 billion search business amid rising AI competition. So this is hopefully going to be very, very positive for Google. And if we have a look at the specific news, we can see here again in the quant data section in the Discord, where we have live breaking news. We can see the headline: Alphabet is well positioned for Google search dominance, and analysts say this can navigate the shift to AI search. So once we have moved over from Google search to AI search, I certainly think that will be a game changer, and the reason for that is because the Google search is still the number one search engine in the whole world, and I don't think there is any significant competition that are close to them whatsoever. So let's have a look at the markets, and in terms of the chart today, we can see the stock is up over 3.11%, currently trading around about $169.08. Remember, this Google did at one point go close to $200, and it did come down close to $150, giving a good buying opportunity, and I still think it's potentially a good buying opportunity. If we have a look at the previous 1 month, it's up over 12% on the month, but again, you see around about May the 7th there was another opportunity to pick up around about $152, but right now I think the momentum is going to be positive, so keep an eye on ticker symbol GOOGL. Let's have a look at MMTLP, and the first shout out here to X Market News, who's posted with regard to Nexbridge hydrocarbons, and they stated that the company faces near record delay in the SEC S1 approval process, and hopefully the new administration puts in the work, contacts the SEC and demands answers. So not great news there. However, let's move on to some slightly better news, and a shout out here to Guess Who stated, as always, Charles Payne asking the tough questions and keeping it real. So on the Charles Payne show, we did have the Representative Norman on metamaterials on there, and he states it's an interesting pivot. Representative Ralph Norman, thanks for your clarification. He has provided some of those clarifications, and I'm going to share with you one of the screenshots from Charles Payne's, and it states here, Norman leads a letter to FINRA and the SEC concerning metamaterials Series A preferred share. So remember, he was one of the key instigators of the letter, and I don't think there has been a significant follow-up from that, and I think the MMTLP community have lost a significant amount of confidence in Ralph Norman, and I think that is for good reason. But let's have a look at his latest interview now. Quick snippet of that, where he talks about MMTLP and potentially a chance for getting answers.
Efforts, to make the stock market more palatable or fair to your to people watching our show. And you took some efforts to get information on metamaterials. All day long on social media, people are asking me, next time Representative Norman is on, can we get an update?
We can now, Charles. We couldn't get any answers from the Biden administration. Whether it was CFPB, whether it was FINRA, whether it was SEC, we couldn't get any answers. I think we can now, but and I think we will try to have some clearance on it. I think, or some indication of where it is, where it stands. There was some fraud, definitely. The veterans that lost out on that is tragic, and we need to get answers sooner rather than later, and I think we will.
You also mentioned, and I got to go back to that post where you talked about the folks down there working with you, and it felt like you were taking aim at your fellow Republicans. Not the American people deserve better. It's high time for our colleagues to step up.
Let's now get a reaction to that video from Mocha Blast, who stated our community was just given a lifeline with Charles Payne interviewing Ralph Norman yesterday, and to know that we still have a divide in our community, and this is the reason why resolution may take longer. Just imagine also if everybody put their egos to one side. I think there have been a number of divides for a long time now, but let's move on to look at a reminder of Ralph Norman's initial letter and the post. So in terms of a quick reminder why he is important, this was his post June the 5th 2024, and he states Congress has an obligation and duty to our constituents to provide oversight and ensure the markets are functioning fairly and efficiently, tagging in MMTLP. And he's also thanking the 40 of his colleagues for joining him in the search. So remember, he wrote this letter to Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler has now gone, so we have a new SEC chair, and I expect Ralph to follow up with this, because obviously he wants to be seen as a man of his word, and that is yet to be proven. So other good news with regard to media exposure, shout out to Rob Carter, who stated today at 10:05 ACST, Junk Savvy will be joining him on the Rob Carter show to discuss the MMTLP stock scam. So tagging in three important people there. Metaman 1111, I believe, may be the reason why this has happened. And he's also stated Senator Joe Nicola joins me at 11:06 to discuss the most recent Missouri legislative session, and I hope Joe Nicola is aware of this MMTLP fiasco as well. And Rob goes on to post, I want to thank you for your relentless effort to seek justice for the MMTLP army. We need more patriots who fight for what's right. Stay in touch, and I will continue to cover the story, tagging in Anne Wagner. I think it will be also good to tag in Ralph Norman as well. So look forward to this interview, and I think by the time you're watching the video, this interview will be out. So go ahead to Rob Carter's X handle, and he will share the link, and hopefully there's good news. And finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.